Two released South African hostages are back home, and South Africa is failing its children. Good day to you. The two South Africans who were released from captivity by Somali pirates last week have arrived at Johannesburg's OR Tambo International Airport. Debbie Karlitz and Bruno Peletzari were held hostage for 20 months. They were abducted while sailing along the East African coast in a yacht in 2010. The two were released after what was described as a joint operation by South Africa, Somalia and Italy. The ANC says there was nothing controversial in its singing in Nkosi Sikelel Africa, rather than the full national anthem at the opening of its national policy conference in Midrand, north of Johannesburg. Several political parties have criticized the ANC for leaving out the English and Afrikaans verses of the anthem. Parliamentary whip Matola Matsecha says the choice derives from the party's history as a liberation movement.
This is part of a heritage. We can't obliterate this heritage because we draw our strength from that heritage. But our heritage is not in conflict with our vision of the new South Africa that is inclusive and cohesive.
ANC Treasurer General Matthews Paws is sceptical about a fundamental policy shift on the nationalisation of mines. A state intervention report has only recommended higher taxes. Mining companies have warned that calls for nationalisation are putting off investors, and they're watching the ANC policy conference. Poza explains.
In the President's statement, in a very clever way, he referred to an act which reposed the state minerals into the hands of the state. I thought he was shutting the door even on that discussion, because it's clear he's saying there will be no nationalisation. But that has been debated now in commissions. I don't think the commissions are going to move in a direction different from where the President has indicated.
South Africa is failing its children, with child murders more than double the global average. Scientist at the Medical Research Council, Shanaz Matthews, says according to the latest figures, 3 children are killed in South Africa every day. She was addressing the conference of the South African Professional Society on the Abuse of Children in Pretoria.
Overall, we are finding a different pattern. What we see is that there are more, in the younger age group 0 to 5, that there are more girls that are dying as a result of overall child homicide. But when we're looking at the older age group, we see that there are more male child homicide deaths.
International Peace Envoy Kofi Annan intends to convene a high-level meeting on Syria and Switzerland on Saturday as the conflict there intensifies. The United Nations Arab League envoy, whose peace plan for Syria has so far failed to halt the bloodshed, is working with foreign governments and all sides in the war to bring about a peaceful settlement. Karen Abu Zaid is from the UN investigation team.
What we're seeing is a serious deterioration of the situation generally, and that's because there are more weapons and ammunition and so on going into the armed opposition groups. So what's happening on the government side is happening also on the anti-government side. So the people who are suffering, of course, are the people who are in the way, the civilian population.
Finally, the Best Director Oscar of Michael Curtiz for the Hollywood classic Casablanca could fetch up to $3 million, or about 25 million rand, when it goes under the hammer. That's according to auctioneers in Los Angeles. They say Casablanca remains one of the most popular movies worldwide, and the movie's Oscars are prized possession. The golden statuette will be auctioned tomorrow in Santa Monica.